Hi, I'm Queen Beryl, and today we're going to talk about Big Van Vader, or Vader. Now, Big Van Vader was name known for his time in New Japan Pro Wrestling and All Japan Pro Wrestling and Pro Wrestling Noah and World Championship Wrestling and World Wrestling Federation and Total Nonstop Action Wrestling. He was a former three-time WCW heavyweight champion, one-time WCW United States champion. He was also a three-time IJPW heavyweight champion, three-time world heavyweight champion, and WWE is concerned. Now, he passed away not too long ago, and this came as a surprise when he had heart surgery, and it was successful, and everything was going good. But it turns out that something happened, and he is no longer with us. Big Van Vader is now up in heaven with God and Jesus now. He's good now. He's at a good stead. Now, my experiences with Big Van Vader or Little Bull came from his time in World Championship Wrestling, when he was feuding with wrestlers like Sting and Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan, where he got name known during those time, putting on matches with those name known wrestlers. And also his time in the World Wrestling Federation, when he was having fights with Bret Hart and Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, and he was getting name known for those as well. But he started out in the American Wrestling Association. Then he went to New Japan Pro Wrestling, then to World Championship Wrestling, then World Wrestling Noah, then Pro Wrestling Noah, then World Wrestling Federation, then New Japan Pro Wrestling, All Japan Pro Wrestling, Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, and he was also in other promotions after that. Many things that I think was really liked about Big Van Vader was a man who was that big, but he was very athletic, He always had this thing where if he would get angry during a wrestling fight, he'd take his mask off. He did that a lot in World Championship Wrestling, okay? Now, he only did that in the World Wrestling Federation from 1996 till 1997. After that, they kind of phased that out, or he didn't do it anymore, unless he was losing his mask like he did to Kang. And Big Van Vader will be name known for having his feud with Hulk Hogan in World Championship Wrestling. Big Van Vader was one of Hulk Hogan's biggest foes during that time. Yeah, when Hulk Hogan first came to World Championship Wrestling, Big Van Vader was the first man who started fighting with him right after Hulk Hogan beat Ric Flair for the WCW Heavyweight Championship. And every match that Hulk Hogan would have against Big Van Vader, Hulk Hogan would win, but Big Van Vader would always find his way of coming back from it. And even though Big Van Vader didn't win the wrestling fights, he became a big threat to Hulk Hogan. And even though, eventually Hulk Hogan did befriend Big Van Vader, to help him out against the Dungeon of Doom at the end, but most likely, Big Van Vader did win the WCW Heavyweight Championship 3 times. So he was pretty well. Now, when he was in the World Wrestling Federation, he was fighting with Shawn Michaels. And he only had about maybe 3 matches against Shawn Michaels. And just like his wrestling fights with Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels always beat him. But Big Van Vader seemed to be this threat to Shawn Michaels like he was to Hulk Hogan. Now, a lot of people were going to start stories and said that Big Van Vader was supposedly had won the WWF Heavyweight Championship at the time, but they changed the bookings. Why? No one really knows. But Big Van Vader was definitely a man that, obviously was name known for being a big foe to Shawn Michaels. Now, Big Van Vader, he's had a lot of, he's been name known for a lot of things. His son once did wrestle in WWE underneath another wrestling name. I will miss him. I mean, he was one of my other favorite wrestlers. I mean, Big Van Vader, he was, he was, they tried to book him as a bad Esau that he was. And everybody remembers what Big Van Vader did during his time in World Championship Wrestling. You know, everybody knows what he did during his time in the World Wrestling Federation. A lot of people also know what he did in New Japan Pro Wrestling and All Japan Pro Wrestling and Pro Wrestling Noah. And some people know he did in American Wrestling Association and what some he did in Tone Non-Stop Action Wrestling. You know, I will miss him. And I am sad that he's no longer with us anymore. You know? He was, you know, everybody's going to remember, everybody's going to have their favorite Vader moment, their Big Van Vader moments. And I always will have my favorite Big Van Vader moments. You know, if it would be his matches, his wrestling fights with Hulk Hogan, his wrestling fights with Shawn Michaels, you know. And he was managed by many different managers like Harley Race and Jimmy Hart and James E. Cornette and Paul Bear. And each one of them, you know, they tried their best to, you know, try to get him over, you know. So I'm probably sure that, you know, he was a work. Trust me, he was not, you know, he was a wrestler that you had to do a lot of work with to get him over. But, you know, it is what it is. He'll be missed. And I hope that Big Van Vader should be in the WWE Hall of Fame for what he did in JPW and JPW and, you know, and WPN and TNAW and WCW and WWF and, you know, and AWA. You know, he should be in the Hall of Fame for all what he did. Rest in peace, Big Van Vader, and God bless.